guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing another open session. Sometimes we do academy sessions, but we are once again at TeamSport Gosport to have an open session with feedback this time, which means it's like the race academy sessions, but it's not a race academy session because it has kids who are new and kids who aren't, and older kids who can be new and older kids who aren't new. But one thing is, if you do see people with the blue suits overtake me, that is because they're taller and they don't fit the red suits. The red suits are for the smaller children, the blue suits are for the teenagers to adults. But yes, one thing we are doing is we're going to Danny, the marshal, who tells me if my head cam is on, and he helps. Now, shout out to Danny because you will see him quite a lot in this video, especially at the end because he helps me with one thing. But first we have my mum in here, and now she is leaving to go to the spectators room. I just wanted to make that sound cool. Now here we have a different marshal saying, "Were you the guy wearing the devil cover on your helmet?" Yes, I was on the first part of the session. So this is actually the second part, and I won't be doing the first part, and if you do see parts of the first part, it is just small little videos that my mum has done. But now I'm just giving a fist bump to the marshal and waiting ready in my class for a marshal to give the pedal test, and then we set off. But first my mum was just asking, "Do you have your chin strap done up?" And I thought she was saying the neck strap on my racing suit. You don't need that done up because it can choke you if your neck is too big. But you can see my mum walk out those doors and pass into the spectators' lounge. Well, not lounge, but the spectators, what would you call it? Spectators...
The viewing area.
Viewing area.
Yeah, viewing gallery.
The gallery. But we're just waiting, and here the other marshal walking who was walking behind where we first started. He's the one that actually gives us the pedal test, and we're just waiting for him to come and give us a beautiful time on the track. But now I'm just waiting, and Emmanuel starts telling me from up front. Oh, and someone behind me bumped into the back of me into Emmanuel. But I was just saying, no, just be a bit more careful and cautious, will you? Emmanuel was telling me, you can fall asleep in your car if you put your head all the way back and look into the roof or ceiling, if you're in America or something, of the warehouse. Now finally we have the marshal that will be giving us the pedal test, and he just waits a minute or so just to give us time to settle down and we'll get in the zone of racing. Emmanuel is not paying attention, so he's waiting for Emmanuel, who we do have a big fight with later in the video. And so the marshal tells me, "Come on," and then tells me the signal to stop, and then go and then stop. So that I did do. And now we are setting off onto the track, ready. So one thing I do when I will be doing these videos is I do curve quite a lot on the straights on the warm-up lap, and the reason is I want to warm up my tyres as much as I can, so then I don't so I can get these nice and warm, so then I don't spin out as much times as I would with cold tyres. Now we're just going down the ramp. As you see, Emmanuel is leading the pack with the warm-up lap, but one thing is, sadly you don't have a qualifying, which means you don't get to start. And one thing also my birthday is a week after Easter Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that, but I'll be posting then. But one thing is, do like, comment and subscribe to the channel and the video, because it will do everything for me. It will help me out a lot, because my subscribers means I can make money, and making money means I can make better videos for you, and making better videos for you means we can get more views means more money, and it keeps going in that loop. And yes, but the lights have gone green, we're racing, Emmanuel already overtakes one person. We have just started and we are already overtaking 3 people in the first part, but we're racing, the lights go green and we go racing again, is what I say. And basically Emmanuel is taking the centre of the track. Now, one thing I will tell you about the centre of the track is the centre of the track is a really defensive way to drive, and it is not good for your lap times. So if you do want to defend for your life and you're in first place, like Cameron Gas Racing, shout out to him by the way, love watching his videos, but can't watch his racing karting handbook because it's not in English but pounds either, so sadly I can't. But yeah, one thing is I will watch him just to see what he does and use the things he does. Now we're just racing Emmanuel. Clearly I don't have, but one thing is what I will spend with the money for the videos is a 360 head cam, so you guys can see the whole thing and I don't have to look over my shoulder and to show you what's behind me. Now Emmanuel is building a gap between me and him, and still is taking the defensive line, which means he isn't doing so well on those corners. But then he does go concerningly, to the middle of the track, which isn't that good. I try a dive bomb right here, but it doesn't work, so I basically lose time on him, because dive bombs that don't work means it means I lose time. I go down the inside, I shouted, Emmanuel, on your inside. Emmanuel ignores me, turns to the right, and then sees me, and we get in a crash. I'm already catching up. I look around the outside of Emmanuel, but I don't. It doesn't happen. Now Emmanuel is just waiting for him to catch up to this person. Now basically he overtakes him and I have his slipstream, so I get past. And there I try another dive bomb 2 laps in a row. That was crazy. Emmanuel is still full on racing and then doesn't look at the yellow lights, and then once he sees them he starts going to the yellow lights. Then but I don't understand why the marshals haven't given him a black flag. I think it's because he was under the bridge and there's no light there. But he was looking at the light and he was not under the bridge. But so we have this guy in blue. He goes down the inside of me and the Manuel. And this next guy we're trying to overtake. Now this next guy, I do have quite a good overtake on him. Don't hit him into the barriers, but it was quite close. This blue guy that overtook us, me and Emmanuel, was the relative of someone you'll see later on the video calls a red light with me. Now we're racing against Emmanuel again and trying to catch up to him because he is still trying to build that gap between me and him, and really that gap is too big for me to try and move on him, so I can't overtake him, and so I have to catch up to him. Now we are going to catch up to him later on in the video. Whoa, what? We have this kart 30 come really fast down into the barrier, but then still keeps the position, which is quite beautiful overtake, but kind of messy as well. And I mean, I don't think I would have done that myself. I would have, because if I did do that, I would have played the person. If I wasn't me right now, I would have. They would have probably done a switchback on me, which means I would have still lost the position anyway. So, but somehow he has gone incredibly fast and has taken that place. Got past Emmanuel as well, so I'm like, let's get into Emmanuel again. Now we do get bumped by this next guy, and I think this guy we'll see later in the video, I don't know. But we're just trying to catch up to Emmanuel. Basically, we keep going, and right now I start to take the defensive line myself, but this guy still goes around the outside on the S corner, which is very impressive. He leaves a big gap, which shouldn't be left, and then overtakes me and locks me out in the corners ahead of him. He goes down the inside. I think I have his slipstream, so I go down the inside. I go down to the inside of that corner, and it doesn't work. Then I overtake this guy who's now behind me, and I am now racing Emmanuel once again. So I might speed up this, I don't know, but basically we don't want to boredom you with much stuff. But really, it wasn't that boring because we had loads of overtakes, so I won't speed it up. I was thinking of doing that. This guy brake tests me, goes to the inside, really wide. So I'm like, what the hell? And Emmanuel makes a really big gap, which means I have to work as hard as I can to close that gap and try to overtake him. Now, in the corner of your screen, you see the guy who I had bumped into the side of getting a person overtaken. Now this person has overtaken him and is going to try and get to me and overtake me. Here I go down the inside of this person and I will continue the racing line. But now we just go do this corner once again, and my hard work should pay off soon, because I will see Emmanuel and closer in the video once again, because he will be slowed down by lapped traffic. Now, whilst we're racing here, we see a blip of someone. Now, that someone is who I was talking about, Emmanuel, my little brother and racing rival. We have some guy go down the inside of me, and one thing is, since he has no yellow thing on the back of his car, it means he's an adult, which means he has a faster car, which means I had no chance anyway. I see a person, and it is the guy, the relative of the person who will beat me later on in this video. Well, not beat me, but cause a red light later in the video with me. Now, he does get past, and he does build a gap, and I was trying my hardest to follow his lines, but I couldn't because he was too good and too quick. Now, one thing is, you can see Emmanuel, it's Emmanuel, getting overtaken, and here, I'm behind Emmanuel. This guy crashes into me, and he puts his hands up saying, "What are you doing?" And that's what I'm thinking. So, whilst I'm in the car, I'm shouting, "What? It was you, mate. I didn't do anything." Now, we have Danny. Shout out to Danny once again. He did run as quick as he can to come and help with my situation that caused the red light, as you can see in that light. Now, we are just, he does help me try to turn the car around, but that angle was really, really tight, and I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway because I tried turning it as far as I could. But now we're racing once again on the yellows this time, on the yellow starts. So we take off once again, and we are ready to race. So we go back to greens and try our hardest to catch up to Emmanuel, which gets me the fastest lap of the whole kids' place session today that we did. Now, one thing was, I did do it this exact same day that I'm recording or narrating this video. So please, 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 do look that I am trying my hardest to become the best YouTuber for all of you guys. And one thing is, I will be giving you tips later on in this channel phase. But right now, we'll show you races. Now, I'm trying my hardest to catch up to Emmanuel, even though I'm doubting it I will be able to, because he is miles ahead, and in the corner of the screen, you can see Emmanuel was going to the ramp, whilst I was going down the S-curve. Now, we do see someone in front of me, and it's not Emmanuel. But do we overtake them? That's what I'm thinking. We see the checkered flag, and I didn't actually see it, but so I'm still racing, and then I notice it's under yellows. So I calm down, and then we make our way into the pits to end the session, and that's will be it for today. But one thing is, the guy who, shout out to Danny once again, leading us into the pits. One thing, he does say something cool looking into the kart line. Basically, we are lining up, we're waiting in our karts for some stops, and I'm telling this guy in front of me, mate, you can move forward because you're too much of a caution. Well, I don't know what the word is, but he's too careful karting. So he goes slow, 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 and leaves big gaps between the karts. That's not to happen, by the way. So we're just waiting, ready to get out of the karts. And either the friend or the dad of the person in front of me, kart 37, is just saying, if he's okay. Now, we are waiting to get out of our carts and we are ready. So we get told to get out of our carts now. So I get out, and I beat kart 44, which means I beat Lewis Hamilton. No, not literally Lewis Hamilton, but I'll take that as a thing. I did beat his number, didn't I? Now here is the guy that did crash into me. So he's just saying sorry and stuff, but I'm like, it's okay. But do be a little bit more careful and do read the sign on the back of my car. Now here is where we end the video and we say goodbye. Now don't forget to like, subscribe and smash a notification bell, otherwise you won't be able to get notifications of my new videos that come out. But that will be it for today, so bye, see ya, peace out.